Today, perhaps more than ever, the world of attraction is a theatre of ghosts. Men and women alike move through a landscape of carefully constructed personas, of calculated silences and strategic advances. Dating has become a game of psychic chess, a series of moves and countermoves where the goal is not connection, but conquest. Not intimacy, but the validation of the ego. In this world, authenticity is a liability, and vulnerability is a weapon to be used against you. Most women are taught the rules of this game from a young age. Seem interested, but not too interested. Be available, but not too available. Guard your heart, but perform an openness that keeps him engaged. It is an exhausting, soul-killing performance. But then there is another kind of woman, an archetype that is emerging from the ashes of this tired game. She is not a player. This is not because she is naive or unskilled. It is because she has concluded that the prize is not worth the price. She has done the brutal, solitary work of building a life from which she does not need a man's attention as an escape. And so she moves differently. She speaks a language that is so foreign to the modern man that at first he cannot even recognize it as a language at all. It is the language of radical honesty, not a brutal, unfiltered honesty designed to provoke, but a clean, sovereign honesty that emanates from a soul that is at peace with its own truth. She does not play games. And what does a man feel when he, a grandmaster of the game, finally sits down across the board from a woman who refuses to even make the first move? The first feeling is not attraction. It is not intrigue. It is a profound, system-shocking disorientation. He is a warrior who has trained his entire life for a specific kind of battle, and he has just walked onto a battlefield where the other side is not fighting. He makes his usual opening moves, the charming compliment, the subtle boast, the carefully calibrated text. He waits for the expected response, the countermove that will tell him how to proceed. But from her, he receives none. She does not flatter his ego in return. She does not ignore his text to create artificial tension. She responds simply, directly, and then she returns her attention to her own life. This lack of artifice is not a strategy. It is a state of being, and it renders his entire arsenal of tactics obsolete. His charm is useless, because she is not seeking to be charmed, she is seeking to be known. His status is irrelevant, because she is measuring him not by the size of his kingdom, but by the integrity of his character. His subtle manipulations are powerless, because she has no insecurities for them to latch onto. He feels like he is speaking a complex code into a void. As the psychologist Carl Jung might observe, this woman is operating from a place of psychic integration. She has united the conscious and the unconscious, the light and the shadow. The games men play are the desperate theatre of the fragmented soul, and her wholeness makes that theatre look exactly like what it is. A childish, pointless pantomime. The initial feeling is one of profound confusion, a dizzying sense of vertigo. He has met a force that does not operate by the laws of his world, and for the first time, he feels utterly and completely powerless. This feeling of powerlessness is an alien state for the masculine ego, which defines itself through agency and control, and the ego, in its desperate bid for survival, will not accept this new reality. It will rationalize, it will invent. The disorientation quickly curdles into the second, more cynical stage, suspicion. He cannot comprehend a battlefield without a battle, so he concludes that the war is simply being waged on a level he does not yet understand. He thinks, this is not the absence of a game. This is a new, more sophisticated game. You will feel this shift. His energy, once merely confused, becomes intensely analytical. He is no longer just observing you. He is scrutinizing you. You are not a person to him yet. You are a puzzle, a complex algorithm he must reverse engineer. He becomes a detective investigating a crime that never happened. He will watch for inconsistencies, for the subtle tell that reveals your true motive. He will listen to your words not for their meaning, but for their hidden agenda. Her directness? It must be a tactic to disarm him. Her lack of neediness? A carefully crafted performance to make him chase. Her boundaries? They must be a test of his resolve. He is projecting his own complex game-playing worldview onto your clean, simple reality. He sees shadows where there is only light, because his own eyes are accustomed to the dark. You will notice him testing you in subtle ways. He might drop a comment designed to provoke a small flicker of jealousy. He might feign indifference to see if you will double your efforts. He might create a small manufactured drama to gauge your emotional reactivity. He is baiting a hook and casting it into a still, clear lake, and he is utterly baffled when the hook comes back empty every single time. You do not bite, not because you are cleverly avoiding the hook, but because you do not even recognize it as bait. You see his tests not as challenges, but as what they truly are: the sad, transparent maneuvers of an insecure soul. Your lack of reaction is his greatest torment. In the world he knows, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But your emotional physics are different. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius would advise, you have the power to have no opinion about his provocations, and in having no opinion, you are not harmed. Your peace is not contingent on his behavior. You are not a mirror reflecting his drama back at him. You are an anchor, holding your own center. He sends out waves of chaos, and they simply dissipate against the shoreline of your inner calm. This is the phase where the average man, the man who is truly committed to the game, will often retreat in frustration. The puzzle is too difficult, the energy required too great. But the man of substance, the man with a dormant but present soul, will not. He will continue his scrutiny, and as he finds no inconsistencies, no cracks in your foundation, his suspicion will slowly, reluctantly, begin to transmute into something else. The detective, having found no evidence of a crime, is forced to consider a radical, terrifying possibility. Perhaps the suspect is truly innocent. Perhaps this woman is not playing a new game. Perhaps she is not playing a game at all. And this realization is far more disorienting than the first. It is the moment his entire worldview begins to crumble. The moment a man's suspicion collapses is not a moment of relief. It is a moment of terror. To accept that she is not playing a game is to accept that his entire map of the world, his whole strategy for navigating human connection, is fundamentally flawed. It is the psychic equivalent of a devout zealot realizing his holy book is empty. The world does not reorder itself. It simply dissolves into chaos. And in the center of that chaos stands this woman, perfectly calm, a fixed point in his disintegrating universe. His suspicion does not transform into trust. It is annihilated. And what rushes into the vacuum is a feeling far more potent and far more destabilizing: awe. This is not the simple awe one feels before a beautiful sunset. This is the ancient, primal awe one feels in the presence of a vast and dangerous natural force, a quiet volcano, a still ocean. It is a mixture of profound reverence and a very real sense of fear. He feels like an actor who has spent his entire life mastering a complex role, only to walk on stage and find that he is the only person still reading from a script. She, the audience, and the world itself are all operating from a place of raw, unscripted reality, and his carefully rehearsed performance is suddenly exposed for what it is: a hollow, pathetic fraud. This is the moment he becomes painfully aware of his own mask. In Jungian terms, he is confronting his persona, the carefully curated facade he presents to the world, to be liked, to succeed, to be accepted. He has worn this mask for so long that he has forgotten it is not his true face, but her authenticity acts as a psychic solvent. In her presence, his mask becomes heavy, ill-fitting, and ridiculous. He hears the inauthenticity in his own voice. He feels the cheapness of his own charm. The stories he has told 100 times, the ones that are designed to impress, suddenly feel like lies. This breeds a profound and unfamiliar intimidation. He is not intimidated by her beauty, her intelligence, or her success. He is intimidated by her wholeness. He is intimidated by the quiet, unshakable authority of a person who is not at war with themselves. He senses, on an unconscious level, that she has walked through a fire he has spent his entire life avoiding. The fire of radical self-inquiry, of shadow work, of facing one's own demons. Her peace is not an accident of temperament. It is a hard-won victory, and he is a soldier who has never even had the courage to enlist. You will see him change. The suave performer disappears, and in his place is a hesitant, watchful student. He speaks less. He listens more. He stops trying to impress you and starts, clumsily, to be real. He might share a moment of genuine vulnerability, a story of failure, a flicker of doubt. He is testing the waters, terrified, to see if he too can take off his mask in this space and not be annihilated. The power dynamic has now completely inverted. You have not taken power from him. He has willingly, desperately surrendered it. He has laid down his useless weapons at your feet and is asking not for your love, but for your asylum. He is not trying to win you over anymore. He is hoping you will not see him as the fraud he now sees himself to be. This awe is the fertile ground for the first, true seeds of a spiritual longing to take root. He is not yet aching for you, the woman. He is aching for the truth you embody, a truth he now realizes he has been starving for his entire life. The awe he feels is a fire that burns away the deadwood of his persona. In the ashes, something new and terrifyingly vulnerable begins to grow. The awe gives way to the final, transformative stage, a feeling for which his old language has no words. It is a fusion of profound relief and a sacred, bone-deep longing. The relief comes first. It is the feeling of a lifelong soldier being told the war is finally over. Do you have any idea how exhausting it is to play the game? To constantly be calculating, posturing, performing, defending? It is a state of perpetual, low-grade psychic warfare. He has been fighting this war since he was a boy, and he never even realized he had a choice. Your authenticity is his armistice. In your presence, he is finally given permission to put down his weapons. The relief is not a gentle sigh. It is a tectonic exhale that releases decades of tension from his nervous system. He feels a quietness in his own mind he has never experienced before. The frantic inner narrator, the one constantly feeding him lines and strategies, has fallen silent. And he finds that he does not miss it. He feels safe. It is a psychological safety that is far more profound than physical security. He begins to understand, on a cellular level, that he can be flawed in your presence and not be judged. He can be uncertain and not be manipulated. He can be simply, imperfectly human and not be abandoned. This feeling of safety is the most potent and addictive drug in the universe because it is the one thing the game can never offer. The game is built on a foundation of mutual insecurity. Your connection is built on a foundation of mutual respect. He is not just attracted to you. He is becoming deeply, irrevocably attached to the feeling of peace he experiences in your orbit. This is the sanctuary his soul has been searching for, a place where he does not have to fight for his right to exist. This relief and safety create the space for the final, most crucial emotion to bloom, a deep and abiding longing. But it is a new kind of longing. It is not the possessive, ego-driven desire of the game. He no longer wants to conquer you. He wants to learn from you. He looks at your inner peace, your self-possession, your quiet strength, and he no longer sees them as intimidating qualities in a potential mate. He sees them as qualities he desperately wants to cultivate within himself. The anima projection is maturing. You are no longer just the lost part of his soul. You are the map that shows him how to find it on his own. He stops trying to pull you into his chaotic world and starts wanting to earn citizenship in yours. He is not longing for your body, but for your frequency. He is not aching for your attention, but for your wisdom. He is not in love with a woman. He is in love with a way of being. He has been given a glimpse of the promised land of authenticity. And he knows, with a certainty that chills him to the bone, that he can never again be satisfied with the barren wasteland of the game. He is faced with the most important choice of his life: to do the hard, terrifying work of becoming a man worthy of the truth you represent, or to retreat back into the comfortable lie and be haunted by your ghost for the rest of his days. But whatever he chooses, he is forever changed. He has met a woman who doesn't play games, and in doing so, he has been forced to finally meet himself.